first. They don't really have they don't have the lanes for it, but it's really good against a lot of G-Guards heroes. I guess it's not very good against Rubik, but
We have G-Guard picking up a lot of Axe sometimes as well, but that was previous patch. Is that an option here, or is that maybe a bit too risky, considering the heals won't really do too much?
Too weak, too much magic damage, bad against the Undying even to some extent. I don't think this is a good Axe game particularly. I think more likely to see the Clockwork, Darkseer. Maybe they are a bit lacking on just teamfight and general initiation, but Clockwork gives you the initiation, but not necessarily anything to teamfight around.
I suppose Beastmaster could also be an option here for G-Guard.
Yeah, and for HOT6 as well.
Ooh, Void Ban.
Alright. Yeah, Void could have worked with Ancient Apparition set up. A lot of synergy there with the Gyrocopter and Lina.
I haven't seen anybody pick Void yet, though.
We saw one really good Void game in China.
C-Deck?
Was it C-Deck? It was the perfect fifth
Yep.
pick. And it was actually somewhat reminiscent of this.
I think he still lost.
10 seconds remaining.
They won that
yeah,
game.
They won the Void.
That was when they picked on the Lycan. It was just solo
yeah.
Chronos on Lycan all game.
Yeah.
That was tough game for Lycanthrope fans.
As for HOT6, probably just looking for that kind of stable mid, the Shadow Fiend type, or Shadow Fiend ban down the first stage. Invoker's a classic MP hero. What other heroes do you think MP would play?
Tinker, Invoker were heroes he played a lot in Korea, but that was when Tinker was really strong, so might not be that. I don't. It's an okay Tinker game, but Lina can definitely just solo kill you in the late game if you ever get caught by Yules. So unless you do go Glimmer Cape, that's a possibility. But I doubt it'll be something like that. But you never know.
They've also for MVP HOT6 they've been picking Slark quite a bit.
I could see him playing that as well. Is MP playing mid or carry? Do you know?
I do not know.
I don't know what roles that these guys are playing. I'm guessing it's Sunbee Heen's. No, it's Jerax Heen's support, so Sunbee maybe offlane.
I think
MP mid
Forev
for
is
carry.
core.
Dire team
And there's the Templar Assassin.
Okay.
The Shrek safe lane, Templar Assassin mid, aggressive tri lane, or the dual lanes that you mentioned, of course, still.
The dual lane still feels somewhat likely here, but
Yeah, I think dual lanes is much more likely because Shadow Demon Lesh is almost as good as the tri lane in a lot of ways. It has so much kill power.
yeah.
I think the Undying Wish Doctor, that's really strong as well.
Yeah.
With just two heroes, it's very defensive. You can get stuns off. You have a lot of offensive potential as well. So I could see the duels.
With the Razor last pick, though, it looks like maybe G-Guard are going to be doing something funky with their lanes, because they don't have an offlane. They have Razor, Lina, and Gyrocopter, possibly an aggro tri-lane, or maybe they're going to fight dual lanes with their own dual lanes.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
I wonder how they would set up the dual lanes, though, with that mix. That is guess we'll just have to see. Be patient. It's hard to theory craft.
I think more likely it's going to be something like an aggro tri-lane with that, but at that point, you're safe on solos, maybe a Razor, maybe a Gyrocopter, but none of those heroes do great if it's an Undying Witch Doctor lane. That's a struggle for them.
10
Yeah,
seconds
definitely.
remaining.
So overall thoughts about the drafts? Pretty even, or do you think one side has a pretty
5
clear edge here?
seconds remaining.
I like the HOT6 for the most part. I think they have more options with how they can set up the lanes. They can, I think, do more as far as punishing what G-Guard have gotten. I don't think G-Guard have a really clear option as far as what an ideal way to lane things here. So I think MVP HOT6 is a better draft.
I would agree. Also because even if they mess up their lanes, or at least rather, have maybe a bit of weird distribution of lanes, I think in theory they should not lose any lanes, even if they don't win them, and that's a big thing in this patch, I think, as well.
All right, and with that, Purge and Gods, y'all can take it away.
Well, thank you guys. Here we go. Game 1, MVP HOT6 versus G-Guard. These two teams, their first match of the qualifiers, and looks like it will be Undying in the offlane, and with no support for the time being.
He's going to get spotted, so no easy observer ward for him. They should be able to check to see what he has. Bit of a weird build on him, actually. Double Gauntlet, possibly a fast earn on Undying. Not something we ever really see. Usually it's a Ring of Protection or a Stout Shield to make your HP last a bit longer. Instead, he's worried about his max HP.
Even sometimes seeing the mangoes on Undying as a decent hero to pick it up.
Shadow Demon now buying Observer Sentry, potentially. I'm not really sure why. Did we see a block down there?
Oh.
A bit peculiar for the late purchase here.
Yeah, I think
maybe
he
it's
just
a bug or
pulled
something.
one over. I'd say it was weird that it just popped up something.
Yeah.
I've not seen that before, but looks like both teams going to secure 1 bounty rune apiece.
Seems like such weird positioning for the teams to me. I guess they were expecting an aggressive warding or something, but the lane ward on MVP HOT6 makes them think that the lane is going to be dangerous for G-Guard, like as if it was an aggressive tri-lane perhaps.
Yeah, and no one's going offlane from G-Guard. They had 5 heroes up top kind of ready to fight. It looks like they expected MVP HOT6 to maybe rotate in and 5v5 them, like trying to contest the jungle.
Offlane Lina? Is that what we're seeing? That was
Yes.
a Boots Lina.
Offlane Lina against a Shadow Demon Leshrac lane. Even with boots, if you ever get caught by disruption, you are just done for in this lane.
I guess it's because they didn't want to put Lina versus a TA mid, perhaps. I guess that wouldn't be the best lane. So instead they picked Razor last so that they could have a better matchup mid. It seems like a bit of an overreaction immediately. So there's a lift on top of Sunby and the Rocket Barrage as well. He's getting pretty low, but the cast comes through and he's going to be okay. One benefit of the double gauntlet is you do have a lot more HP to start things off with. And HP does a lot more against Rocket Barrage than a Ring of Protection or a Stout Shield does.
Yeah, that's where this build works quite nicely. He also hit a 2-hero decay, it looks like, so able to... I mean, 2-hero decay, that Rocket Barrage at level 1 not going to do enough damage, and the Witch Doctor, I think even if he's not there, the Undying still lives, so...
And that buys him about 20 seconds here until Chilling Touch is back up again. Once Chilling Touch is there, he's going to maybe have some issues again, but until then, it's going to be just fine. And on the mid lane, he's actually trading a lot with Yamate, but losing about half his damage here. That's... no, he doesn't have a fraction damage just yet, but... Hopefully for him, he gets a lot of last hits in the mid lane, but I don't think this is a very good matchup for TA, is it?
No, this is... especially Razor hits level 3 and gets a second point in Link, it gets especially difficult then for TA. You can try and help use the Refract and give you some bonus damage to make up for the lost damage, but outside of that, I feel like Razor should probably be almost doubling up on the TA in terms of CS.
Wow, look at those great splashes. He got at least 2 there. Might get more. This is pretty dangerous for Yamate here. That was nicely done. Gives him some space to breathe there. If he can keep the Razor's HP low, if he does come to damage sap, he can at least trade hits there.
I like the way he's playing this lane, where he's just trying to focus on harassing whenever possible, whenever he hasn't lost his damage. He's just kind of auto-attacking the creeps and trying to get that spill damage, but still going to lose a lot more now, and it looks like it's still not going to be a favorable matchup for him moving forward, even if so far it's been okay for him. 8 denies already on Razor, so...
Virtually no chance that MP does get killed here.
This is a...
yeah, he's looking for the courier snipe, but does he even have enough last hits for a bottle? I don't think so. And a haste on Lina as well.
He's still a bit of a ways away from it.
He's kind of close. I do like the fast boots. We almost never see this in the mid lane, but he knew that it was going to be a Razor mid, and that was going to give him the best chance of getting some CS. He doesn't get that one, trading a couple hits on Yamate here. Now going under tower, the stun's going to land in a couple hits, but Refraction just now breaking. He's got all of his HP left over. And Ben, at the moment, getting no experience out of that. And I don't really think that rotation did anything. And as well, look at this. He's going to walk into Ling. Just that's good game sense. He's like, okay, just want to make sure, see if he's sniping my bottle. The support's been missing. Is it really that important to zone him out, though? Wouldn't you just want him to stand there forever?
For the Rubik, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, because if you know he's there, say, like, you know what? You can stand there and be careful with my bottle. It can... Yeah. Maybe it just guarantees his bottle pickup, but that was
he's also really far
time.
away from his ball. I feel like G-Guard are wasting time with the Rubik because he was 200 gold short. Maybe it was Razor saying, oh, he's almost got his bottle, you should go snipe it now, but I feel like that was some miscommunication or mistiming if you're waiting to snipe a courier well before he even is close to the bottle.
Yeah. I like that he does have a TP super early. There's a lot of roaming potentially coming. MP's already got a tough lane, so look at that 84 damage sap. Like, he could press his R button and it still wouldn't give him damage. More or less. He's actually doing negative damage right now.
Yeah, and Refraction will do maybe 20 damage, 30 damage. You can't last hit with that. Yeah, so plus...
Not going to be enough.
Yeah, it would go into the positive, but by a very small margin.
So jungling is an option here, and he has shifted here. We'll be stacking things up. That's one solution, actually. He maybe won't get as much experience, but he'll guarantee gold gain. That's kind of cool. Drex's Kai Dota career analysis.
What's Kai Dota?
Kai Dota is a NA pub star. That sounds like a 4chan BG meme to me. But I lived with
the stats lords. The statsmen are becoming meme lords now.
That's really what it seemed like, because I lived with Asen and he was all about BG.
Okay.
And Kai Dota is a friend of his, and people hashtag Kai Dota a lot. That's all I know about it. I'm also very perplexed.
Okay.
And he's not even an NA player. I guess it's not necessarily NA, but I don't know.
All right, well, we're going to see the next move here. The Undying Witch Doctor lane can't even really be beaten down by G-Guard. That's kind of a scary thought when Undying's getting 11 CS out of the lane, getting all the XP he needs, and this Rubik AA Gyrocopter lane hasn't really been able to do anything to punish them.
And more decay. And they keep him pretty tanky here. Stun comes through, and that's a dead Lina. And I'm sure that was a Shadow Demon into nuke. Yep. Or Shadow Demon Disruption into nuke. Yep. Shadow Demon Disruption into a Soul Catcher into Lightning Stun. Very easy. Arcane Boots as well, and Lesh means that he can basically do that whenever he wants to, because they're going to guarantee both have mana. And again, MP's having a really tough time mid. He's actually doing okay. 17 CS.
Some of that would be the jungle camp, I think, but maybe...
Yeah.
He killed the Ogre camp at once, and I don't know if he's killed it twice or anything, but that's probably going to be his next move. Just take the jungle a bit more. Lee may look to come and contest that move, but he's going to ward up elsewhere in the Radiant jungle.
So what does that ward provide for them right now? I'm not even sure.
Spots the
rotations for Shadow Demon,
Shadow Demon rotation towards mid, but Shadow Demon may just be looking to TP to other lanes.
Exactly. I feel like that ward is maybe not, doesn't have the most purpose, unless G-Guard does plan to move a lot of heroes into the enemy jungle, in which case it'd be okay. But it's not like Leshrac is going to jungle that early. He'll sit in lane a lot, push lane a lot. I feel like that ward could be maybe better used. Maybe closer to where the Shadow Demon is, spot where the Shadow Demon is. That way somebody can actually sit in the offlane. Because G-Guard's not getting much out of their offlane. 1 CS on the Lina, and if we check her levels as well, she's only level 2. So I think MVP is getting way more out of their lanes, despite the fact that MP is having a bit of a rough time.
At this point, it looks like G-Guard are playing with 3 supports. Level 2 Lina, who's now just rotating around with the Rubik. And they're going to bring 4 heroes top, and this is how they can actually get kills. They're going on the Undying, Witch Doctor Cask available, but it's going to be too late to change anything. And Cherek's now,
can he
no money for a TP.
Alright, good
attempt.
attempt.
Done.
He died really fast there.
Yeah.
That's Chilling Touch on, what, 4 ranged heroes? That's one of the really nice things about the Lina in this case. I'm really hesitant about the Lina doing anything here. Like you said, 3 supports. Something similar happened to NAR earlier today, where they had the offlane Earthshaker. He roamed a little bit too much, had no levels, and it was just not really a good situation to be in. And there's the minus damage.
It's 25 denies, 35 last hits. Yamate, this is what he was known for back in the Dota 1 days, and even when he joined up with RNG Sports in Dota 2, it's just lane dominance and being an absolute
doing
beast in
great.
mid.
Look, he's only 9 CS. Is that my math?
Yep.
9 CS.
He's been killing this jungle camp a bit, so this has definitely helped out. And this is not like small camps as well. He's been farming up the big camp. He's now stacking it up, so he has plenty of catch-up farm to work around with. I think MP has played this matchup as well as you could expect. At the same time, I don't think there's more Yamate could have done. This is like probably how this matchup should go down.
Yeah, I would honestly just like to give props to MP for doing this many CS. I think it's actually very impressive. He's done a really nice job not taking too many static link charges and getting a lot of CS in a lane where you normally don't. So there is some vision from the Dire side, but it's on their side of the river, so he might not get spotted here. Nope, no gank, okay.
Well,
the slow landed,
Undying.
and they're pinging. I don't know if that was a bit of bad communication there, but Undying TPing here is not going to accomplish anything. He immediately shifts towards the bot lane.
They had no way to get a kill there. Like, no setup. Witch Doctor Cask into a TA with no damage. Not going to work.
If the Undying was ready, maybe, but Sun's going to miss. They're going to spot out Ben. Going for the dive. There's disruption, but there's too many creeps in the way to get the proper soul catch. Look at the TPs all over the place chasing Shadow Demon. That's a dead hero right there. And nothing he can do about that one.
To the south, though, running away is, well, the Undying and fighting, actually looking to fight up into Lina as well as the Razor. Oh, Cold misses, though. That's a worry. They're going to lose the Lina off to the side, and Net's just going to be forced to retreat here.
Died to zombies, I guess? The Undying got him. Maybe he didn't decay it. It must have been zombies. It had to be.
Okay. It's fighting under that tombstone. Not ill-advised, generally speaking.
So still no urn for him. Leshrac really farmed here. Arcanes with the point booster almost have a soul ring as well. Very obviously a fast bloodstone. Yamate and Razor is quite impressive. 19 games total, 13 of those are wins. His average GPM on Razor is 500. I assume that's for all Razor games, so that doesn't include his past teams. I'm sure that's old patches as well. There's no way they've played this many games.
No, G-Guard has actually been fairly inactive as far as tournaments and just matches go on over the past couple of months, but CTA look to stack Ancients, but that's already being dealt with by G-Guard, who have blocked it with a Sentry Ward.
Yeah. Very nicely done. Pretty easy to block that anywhere on the camp. And Sun, Ancient Apparition level 5, almost 6, a little, slightly under level, but pretty much on key.
And TA is just 200 net worth behind the Razor. That is what's especially impressive about these two.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Leshrac is storming ahead of everyone in terms of overall net worth.
He's doing really well. And it's not going to slow down, actually. He can jungle very efficiently now. We even saw him dropping some of his stat items to get extra value out of the slow ring. Something we usually only see on heroes like Techies, who absolutely need a ton of mana output, but he's doing his best. And this is basically what TA's been doing all game, just farming these camps. Look at the Net looking to go for a kill. He's going to put the call down. The Rocket Barrage does get a couple hits. He gets a kill.
Nice.
What a high-skilled kill there. That was so cool.
He was just waiting there, too. They had no ward vision. It was just good game sense.
Yeah, he's like, TA's off the map, definitely jungling, probably the large camp, and bam. Call down, 1 flak, and a bit of Rocket Barrage. That's not a place you expect to die as a TA, and definitely not in that way.
It's the carry Gyrocopter, too. Like, if it supports there and, like, leeching XP, it's one thing, but
yeah,
the enemy carry just 10 minutes in making that move.
Disruption, he might be in some trouble here. One level of Edict, lightning comes through, and now the ultimate, and that's a bunch of damage output for Net. That should be his death. Soulcatcher pays off so hard in situations like that. That ability is so good. Really good at one skill point too, I think.
So this Shadow Demon Leshrac lane has been causing a lot of problems for G-Guard. Can finding kills now take down the Gyrocopter, the main carry for the G-Guard side as well. And let's see, what do you think G-Guard's like mid-game, like from the next 5-10 minutes? Are they looking to group up, take towers? Are they looking just to play a farming game? What do you think their overall plan's going to be?
They could mech and push, I guess, but they can't really burst people down because Shadow Demon counters that, which is pretty much the whole purpose of what Rubik, AA, and Lina. Those 3 heroes are really about the burst damage, right? So ganking, I guess, is one solution. If they go on the Shadow Demon, they can definitely get kills.
That's I feel like this 3-hero gank is not hoping to find the Shadow Demon. They want a bigger prize.
TA, probably Leshrac, perhaps.
Yeah, Leshrac would be a great find for them.
Dying would not be terrible. He's going to be a bit of a hard kill here. He does have a cloak, gets lifted in the air, but with the Vortex on the ground, wow, he died fast. Vortex paying off completely.
Yeah, so mid lane Razor still just going to keep sealing damage. Almost has completed mech here. As for TA, just phase boots bottle 1, standard early game items. And G-Guard could... They haven't really got the best push is one of the things here. When they get that mech up, they can find a pickoff or 2 and go into a push, but their actual damage output for bringing down towers is very non-existent.
Yeah, that's really true. If only Rocket Brush hit buildings. It really would be the most OP skill then.
Yeah. Oh man.
I guess they have some tower push when the Razor gets Ags, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe they focus too much on trying to counter the TA in their picks here. Like, if he had a really good lane versus a TA, then I would be genuinely worried for MVP, but I mean, MP did so well catching up that I think they're saying, wow.
Okay.
He's like, okay.
Easy.
That's the 50 gold. Yeah,
Fresh Observer Ward as well. And Leshrac has a 12-minute, 20-second Bloodstone.
That's pretty good.
That is impressive. Forev gonna make his way back towards his own jungle, and they know they just dewarded some G-Guard vision there, so they may be feeling like they can be the ones pressuring towers and going for some pushes.
Their jungle's actually so safe. They have 2 Observer Wards covering it. 1 in the river and 1 on the right side. Maybe a bit of overkill here, but apparently they do want to spend a lot of time farming that. And it seems like they're doing kind of a 4 protect 1, or at least a 4 split push 1.
And they even have that higher ward by the Roche Pit cliff as well, so they've got great vision around this bottom lane.
I like how they're doing this. They're not necessarily showing their other supports, or at least they have now, but the enemy team didn't necessarily know if they were top by the TA or if they were bot sitting behind the bot push here. And I think these heroes are still a little bit hidden. One disruption.
Caught out the Gyrocopter, I believe.
Yeah, they get it. Big stun. Lightning comes through as well. And that's a dead hero. Shadow Demon actually pretty good against Gyrocopter. He's not a full ranged carry, so if you do cast the ultimate on him, he's not getting away. And that's a big kill. That's going to guarantee them the bot tower. And in the meanwhile, TA's been just completely farming top lane and pushing it as well, so really good movement by MVP here.
HOT6 is just ward vision is just outclassing what G-Guard can see right now. I mean, partly because they just got immediately dewarded, but like Gyrocopter trying to defend that tower when you have that cliff ward by Roshan is just not going to happen, and that just led up to a free easy kill for MVP HOT6, who are looking really solid here. They're down a kill, but across the board they're just out farming G-Guard and getting a lot more done as far as taking objectives.
A little bit of lightning on lightning action. That Razor passive isn't going to be that useful this game.
No. Just the 1 point bottom lane. Gyrocopter did go in looking for a kill, but ends up just getting a creep wave to farm.
How do you like the Switch Doctor skill build? He has 3 levels in heal.
I guess they're the ones who want to kind of push in 5-man. It's good, I think, in the sense that you're against a lot of ranged heroes. I like Maledict when you're against those kind of heroes which you know are going to be running in at you, your Bristlebacks.
Like overly tanky guys that you have
Bristleback, Undying, whatever it may be, but getting a Maledict off on a Razor or Gyrocopter, I mean, Gyrocopter's the closest to being a melee hero, but if you're getting in close to him, he's killing you off with Rocket Barrage or...
Is that a solo kill?
He's just this Lash is out of control.
I mean, Frev's a really good player. I'm not too surprised that he was able to get that. But how could Gyrocopter let him get a solo kill? He must have stunned from darkness or something.
Yeah,
that
maybe
must have been
just
the only way.
Like the lightning storm slow and then run in. But no, Gyro has phase boots, Celestia's brown boots. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very peculiar. That really can't happen for your enemy carry. He is able to buy out at least, but in the meantime, he's just going to pressure the tier 2 bottom. His team is pressuring the mid. They're leveraging the split push so well this game. Tombstone goes down. That's going to zone out. AI Splash comes in, catches a couple, but no major damage here. And MVP is going to be able to hit the tower.
Just doesn't seem to be a good way for G-Guard to take fights anytime soon. They can sit back and farm, but they're not going to win late game as well, it feels like. They haven't got the best late game. I mean, Gyrocopter Razor not bad, but they're getting out-farmed and...
They don't even have an initiation.
Yeah, the lineup seems to be missing a lot. Speaking of initiation, Shadow Demon's got a great one, and that's going to be a disruption. No stun to follow from Lestrak, who's actually at bottom lane, keeping in mid. Jerax now going to get out of the cooldown, only going to catch Sunbeat on Undying with Tombstone down. G-Guard seem like they want to fight, but Yamate going to take a lot of damage for the death.
Oh,
Three heroes done with the Pulse Nova.
Gosh.
That was sick from Forev.
He is so good. Man.
Well,
that was so fast. Number 3. That 3-man stun. That's why you put 4 skill points in there, because that was just a fight winning. That he actually ravaged them. That's 2 seconds of stun. The old ravage on Leshrak. And that means another tower. And this reminds me a lot of the old MVP Phoenix actually. They just push a lot and they're doing very well with it. Like they're so focused on it and it's something they really put a lot of effort into and it's working out. They picked good lanes, their laning went okay, and then they just start taking towers. And G-Guard just doesn't have the right hero composition to deal with it. So partially a drafting error, but also huge, like really nice play from MVP.
Yeah, it does feel like G-Guard have some big drafting issues. Like their team fight is non-existent. You have no set for your cooldown. They just walk out of it.
You'd have to lift with Rubik.
Yeah, but and even then, it's like you're cooldowning one hero. You don't have like a...
Yeah. If Lina was a core, maybe you could go Lina Yules. That's fine. You could set up Yules into stun, but then again, they completely counter that by having Shadow Demon. So everything that they want to do this game is just completely countered. And to make matters worse, MVP still has pretty good team fight you have with Undying and Witch Doctor and all that stuff.
Gives them about a 10k net worth lead now, and things looking very grim for G-Guard here in game 1. These items will start to slowly come the way of G-Guard. They still haven't got the Yules on Lina, which is to me one of their core initiation items.
Considering her start, they're pretty close, I think.
Yeah.
But you know, when you've lost a tier 2 mid already, and your tier 1 bottom's gone, and your tier 1 top's about to go, I think it's going to be a bit late here.
Lesh actually goes back for a Yules on himself, so...
I kind of like it because, again, they have very little initiation. It's really about chain stun. If you can stop the chain stun on yourself.
Well, he's going to set up a stun on Yamate, it looks like. Yules into a split earth, and he's got a lot of follow-up damage. Undying going to show up as well, and Rubik can't do anything about this.
He does land the stun. No, he hasn't actually used it yet. There comes out, but Ling just dies. There was no way he was going to be able to turn that one around. Unless he landed the stun right away. I feel like he should have used split earth immediately.
He's got 15 bloodstone charges, by the way.
Oh, man.
At 18 minutes in. Easy Roshan for MVP HOT6. No worry about anyone coming in to snipe it as well. There's no heroes with any mobility on the Dire side. They'll throw an Ice Blast here, but...
That's definitely the most annoying thing that's going to hit it. They actually did see that, if you're wondering why they backed up, because they had detection. You are able to see it. Yeah. So as soon as this is done, they're going to grab the Aegis, they're going to move to the bot lane, take the tier 2 tower most likely. I assume they'll go down there, because that's the obvious tactical advantage. It's only got half HP. They could even go high ground. I honestly think they could go high ground right now after the tier 2.
Yeah, they've got earn charges to help sustain them. Has Undying gone for like a mech kind of thing? What's Undying got?
He had Cloak.
Oh, he's going for the pipe.
Okay, I like that. I think that's very good. A lot of magic damage on G-Guard.
And spread damage as well. Cooldown, Plasma Field, Ice Blast, whatever it may be, Dragon Slave, so...
Plus the 10% magic resistance aura for everybody on your team. I think it's... And the heal on top of that means anybody dying on MVP is very unlikely, especially with the Yules now on Leshrak. He's the one that's going to be hitting the tower primarily. MP's probably going to be sitting in the back waiting to initiate. His HP's low. He's got Refraction, but, you know, he doesn't have a BKB yet. So Lesh in the front, Disruption ready to go, and Yules as well.
I could even see TA just getting a Deso, and as soon as you see someone like a Rubik or an AA, you just blink, insta-KO them.
Yeah, he could definitely start one-shotting people very soon.
Like, it's kind of a risky, more volatile build, but with the kind of protection he's got from and the advantage MVP have, I think it'd be a quicker way, well, maybe a quicker way of ending the game and finding kills, but it could be riskier.
All right, they're going to have to back off here. There is a bit too much counter push for G-Guard. The Ice Vortex is first issue. Second of all, Lina can Dragon Slave, Plasma Field out of the Razor, and a Fade Bolt from Rubik. Very safe nukes. So fast Glimmer Cape on Witch Doctor. And, you know, this is kind of cool. It's a lot of people rush Axe, obviously, but this pretty much guarantees that right now he's going to be able to cast a full duration ult, or at least a 5-second ult, which is really big.
This smoke gank, I feel like it has to work, or G-Guard is just done for. They're actually smoking into an Aegis as well. And
I don't think Undying's the hero they want to go on, but they're going to jump on him first. A ulti comes in and hits him, but Oh, the Glimmer Cape, huge Glimmer Cape there by Jarex. That kept him alive. He's going to get the Tombstone down because of it, and the ulti comes down as well, and that taking a bunch of damage. BKB's up, and there's the bonus damage from the TA. He does end up falling. Ling as well going down. Yamata turning things around if he can. 2 dead heroes on MVP. But the fight's not over yet. He gets thrown in the air. There's the magic damage. Frev is still alive and doing whatever he wants to. Ben probably going to get out, but gets taken about halfway down with 1 meld strike. And that was a really nice play from Jarex. That Glimmer Cape completely paid off there. That fight would have gone potentially a lot worse if he didn't get the Tombstone down.
Yeah, they were fighting underneath it. I think they focused it afterwards, but it was already kind of too late at that point. It had already done its work, and HOT6 just have such a big item advantage right now, and well, they're going to use it to push high ground. They're going to have the Gyrocopter and the Raze are still dead for about 5 to 15 seconds apiece, and Fleshjack on the front lines with an Aegis isn't really in too much danger.
Gives him the Glimmer Cape and steals Diabolic Edict. That's a pretty good steal. He could actually get the kill here, but that is just going to be an Aegis. Cooldown comes through, a bit of a waste. Maybe needed to save that for the next respawn in. And they're still going to try for it. He's taking a bunch of damage, actually. Rocket Barrage puts him low. Pipe is at the right time. Ling's getting low. Great bounces and some zombies in the fight to make things a bit worse.
Oh, that cask of the backline's completely ruining G-Guard, and they're all full and healthy here. The Pipe going to wear off, but still feeling like they can take this high ground here.
And 1 more Edict's going to take the tower. Now they have to deal with the Moonwells, but they go in. MP doing a bunch of damage to net, but a little overeager here. Great Disruption's going to buy him some time, but he's going to pop out, and that should be his death. No, he's hiding in the melt. Nice play as well. Glimmer Cape as well to keep him alive, but he does get spotted and picked up. Yamate running for his life, barely alive. And the rest of MVP is finally retreating.
Maybe.
That was a good defense.
Yeah, they get the TA and hold on to their racks here, but I think MVP HOT6 is kind of overcommitted, stood around for quite a long time, and probably just reset here.
Fast pipe here for Sunby, but I think that's mostly because it's not rushed often on Undying. Still a very good time though. They're definitely in a good position. And it stacks so well with Decay too. I mean, you just give yourself naturally more HP, makes your resistance go a lot farther. I'd like to see. I don't think this would honestly be a bad Ags game. Ags, maybe you could go the Solar Crest, something like that is okay. Or
even go back for a mech if you really want.
Oh yeah, they don't have one yet, don't they?
Yeah, the
that'd
Greaves.
Be great. Absolutely
Guardian
great.
Greaves.
It make his total HP pool a little low, but of course you've got Decay for that. So as long as he doesn't get initiated on again, I think it'll be fine.
It looks like another Glimmer Cape going to be coming the way of HOT6 with Heen farming one up. Borev picked up Boots of Travel, has 3k gold. We did see that he can be brought down in the last fight.
Not his mana pool though. He's got 19 Bloodstone charges. That's pretty good.
And that's where with Boots of Travel, you bring him down, he's got an Aegis. He insta-respawns, he TPs back in, and you got to deal with him again. And then maybe if you kill him again, he just buys back. And well, I guess at that point he doesn't have another TP, but...
Well, he's going to have an Octarine core by then, so 30 seconds on BOT is pretty much so. I mean, he doesn't have it yet, but like I'm talking when it gets to that
Picks
stage.
Up a cloak.
I think it's a good value cloak here.
Casual.
They're almost all magic damage. He's going to be getting heals from the Witch Doctor. I think that's worth it. It's 20% resistance for 550 gold. That's such good value when you're a tanky, high HP hero. And
he's got the item slots because of the Boots of Travel too.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point, he can sell his wand and still has 2 empty item slots, which is kind of rare for a carry at this point.
Ben going to get 2-shot here. Here comes the blink.
Yeah, he doesn't want to blink into the telekinesis maybe without a BKB.
Definitely a little scary there. And that should be a easy ward there for Heen.
Nope, he'll take it out.
All over.
G-God, all they can do is defend high ground at this point.
And that's tower. So no more towers other than the ones in the base. No glyph either. So Edict on the tower.
Do they swing mid? They're already taking the T3 tower here, but
I don't think they even need to worry about it that much. I mean, I think they'll probably play it safe, I guess, but I don't know if they really. It's safer. I mean, this is the TI qualifiers. Every BO2 is really important. If you get the 2 wins, you get 3 points. If you go 1-1, you only get 1 point. So it's really important that you win both games. I think they have a super high chance of winning this game, but no reason to play a little bit more aggressive just because you feel like ending the game, 5 minutes earlier.
Yep. And so back off, almost get a pick off in the bottom lane, but Borev starting to stockpile a lot of gold here, up to almost 4,000.
Octarine is almost always the next transition, especially because there's already a pipe on Undying. There's no reason for you to get that. So I think
unless he decides he wants a BKB.
Yeah, that's
maybe the only other possibility.
Really good point. And there it is. So BKB is purchased. Usually, yeah, I think depending on the game, it's the right item. So he's going a bit more defensive build in the sense that Yeah, Octarine I would say is more offensive, even though it does have some defensive components. But Yule's, as well as BKB, means that he can set up kills and have a lot of good backup things in case he does get going on.
Yeah, I think the one other thing HOT6 are waiting for is just the next Roche respawn. They've got complete map control. They're out farming G-Guard while they're playing kind of slow pace right now. They can just get the next Aegis and then go for high ground.
Yeah, G-Guard can't really even leave their base. There's a lot of heroes that can just die instantly on G-Guard. Even Lina, if she's not fast on her Yules, can't two-shot by the TA. Rubik, same case, and AA, definitely same case.
And it's just solo kills too is the crazy thing. HOT6 don't even have to commit multiple heroes. TA can get solo kills. Leshrac for sure can solo kill anyone outside of maybe a Gyrocopter who just has to BKB TP.
And Treads with the Medallion on Witch Doctor. No surprise there. You can Medallion up your pushing cores. They go high ground, they tank the damage, and it's no big deal. Unless it's all magic, which it is. So it'll still be good though. Transitioning to the Solar Crest, especially in the late game against the Gyrocopter, is going to be really useful. And it looks like they're going to go for the jump from Invis. They're starting things off with the Undying. Okay, there's a slow as well. They jump in, do the minus armor, but Yamata actually eats all that damage, barely does anything. Tomb still at full HP. They're going to start attacking it. It will be picked off there.
Okay, not
Yules
the
on Rubik. He does have Refraction up though. There's the stun, lands, Ling's getting really low, but BKB on the Gyrocopter as he does chase down Shadow Demon, gets picked off actually, and not looking too good for MVP here. They can't bring down the Gyrocopter.
Well, the BKBs have now worn off. That's the good news, is both Yamate and Net on the two carries can't really fight beyond this. And Leshrac is still full and healthy. 21 Bloodstone charges. Looks like mid-racks are done for.
Glyph buys it some time though, but 2 dead heroes, most importantly 2 stunning heroes, and that looks like it's, especially with the Desolator, a bit of bonus damage here, and they're going to shift from the mid racks to the top racks immediately. Shadow Demon won't be able to be there for the next fight, so they may have to retreat after they take the tower, but we'll see. They may just stay as well. It's a possibility. They don't have the BKB though on the
They may even retreat earlier. It looks like, yeah, they're going to consider backing off here. Missile coming out, but unlikely to set up any kind of a chase from G-Guard. And they'll bring it down. So TP back, Shadow Demon's back alive, and MVP gonna ditch the top lane, TP bottom from Leshrac, and probably suggesting, yeah, Roshan respawning in 15, so that's what MVP gonna have their eyes on.
Lesh has so many items. His net worth is huge. And Gyro is more typically an AoE carry, at least at this stage of the game when there's a lot of heroes in the fight, so he's gonna have a lot of trouble dealing with Leshrac. He's not going to be able to kill him very easily. He does have a Demon Edge, I guess, so his right click's getting okay, but at some point Lesh is going to transition and get a Shiva's Guard, and then he really doesn't have to deal or worry about anything.
At this point, Gyrocopter just has to go all in. I feel like you can't even be saving buybacks. Just pick up your MKB, whatever. Even Divine Rapier, at this point you're in such a desperate position. I wouldn't blame him just for trying to farm a Rapier.
I think that would be okay as well. The hard part is getting outside your base and not getting killed.
No, easy Roshan claim for HOT6. As TA will claim this one, and probably a good move since TA can maybe be more so on the front lines, bringing down the buildings and infrastructures. And Leshrac has an Aegis with these Bloodstone charges.
Brev is now at 5th. He actually has a lot of last hit records. Maybe not pro games necessarily, but for a very good player. I'll say it again. He has really good Ember Spirit performances as well. We got wrecked by him when Ember Spirit first got popular.
Well, they're going to swing towards top now. It looks like that's what they have there. I said, and Leshrac picked up a plate mail, so Shiva's Guard, possibly the next item coming up. At this point, it doesn't even matter what you're buying, whether it's an Octarine, a Shiva's, a Necro 3 if you want to push with it. I mean, you're just so far ahead that it's all luxury items.
Silverwood on the high ground, you need a good vision of MVP. They've got to wait for the pipe to go away, and then they're going to initiate. So look for it any moment from G-Guard. But how do they start this? Yamate is already at half HP. He's got the Shadow Poison. Sun comes through, but gets dodged by the Lina. Yule's pretty good start to the fight, but the Casca is bouncing. The damage is being done. Net just gets blown up from the Medallion. Really nice play there by Jax. And Yamate as well. Look at the zombies on him, but Flat Cannon's going to save him completely. BKB also as well from the Lightning, and the chase is on, maybe, but MVP's holding their ground.
Doing no damage to the MVP HOT6 lamp. Net will be forced to just BKB and run.
That was his buyback. If he dies here, this is so bad. Net's getting low, needs one more, goes down.
It's over at this point. There is no coming back here. Lina just going to try and self-Yules to save her own life, but that's not going to work. That's going to just set things up for TA and Lesh, and Lesh gets another kill, another Bloodstone charge, and that's GG. HOT6 take game one.
What a one-sided game. That Lina pick really put G-Guard in a weird position. I think they maybe just should have thrown her mid, picked a different off-lane hero, and committed to it. They got that Lina, and they were like, we have to play Lina. but we can't put her against TA. I mean, it's definitely a tough matchup, and MP probably would have run away with it, but surely having a better offlane hero could have done more.